sound, but also compose music. So I have no time to explain it in detail. I make a presentation in Göteborg at ICMC on this subject, and you can find the description of the principle in the proceeding. Example of how we can reintroduce, represent the gesture with the physical modeling, and to make vis-à-vis correspondence between the real gesture and its physical representation. Here we have 10 percussive instruments and 10 percussionists, which are very simple. They are just able to make this kind of gesture, and they are controlled by a chief that strike them on their head in order to make them moving. And with the first one is more with higher force from the chief than the other. So he can reach its instrument, but not the other. But between them, there is a coupling, a spring, in fact, a spring, very small spring, coupling each other in such a way that the energy, the gestural energy, can move from ear to ear to ear to ear, and etc., and circulate between the 10 percussionists. So this is a sequence, sound sequence obtained with this model. I have no time to enter in very great details for mimesis interface, which is dedicated for animated image. And we have, of course, in project to combine. You know, Genesis is for music and Mimesis for image. But of course, what is interesting is to combine the two in a single. But it's what we are working now. Just I would like to show you something from a piece from Annie Luciani, NIME03, made with Genesis. This is a recent articulation with Genesis and Mimesis and Cadoz. And to conclude, musical expression doesn't imply exclusively real time. Expressivity is a consequence of good relation between the artist and his tools that are of two complementary categories. The tools for direct live expression and the tool for the conception in a non-constrained time. Of course, we need suitable interfaces for both intuition and also a good articulation between them. We must also have a good understanding of the physical feature as well for the gesture as for the instrument, in this very general sense. We must ensure a coherence between the gestural approach and the simulation processes, and this can be very well achieved within the physical modeling paradigm. So we need also a relevant environment to create a simulation model. Important is this question of representation out of time of the gesture, and to consider this new possibility to approach the gesture as an object, like in the same way that Schaeffer said in 1988 or just after about the objet sonore. We can speak of the objet gestuel with this precaution I mentioned, and consider the gesture as a part on which we can apply work in order to compose. And finally, I would emphasize the fact that physical modeling is not simply a new good way, a method to sound synthesis, but it's a fundamental paradigm allowing several integrations between the gesture and instrument, between our sensory channel, gestural, acoustical, and visual, that are not simply added together, but intimately combined to support a multi-sensory interaction. And to finish, the physical modeling paradigm allows to work in a unique and consistent way, both on the level of the sound, the material for music, for example, or the elementary event for image, and at the microstructure, that is a composition level. But we don't forget that all this is virtual and that we need to go back to the real world.